So this woman took the life of her two husbands and then blamed it on her own daughter. Her first being Michael Wallace, who she had two daughters, Ashley and Bree, with. Now her name's Stacey. In 1999, Michael Wallace began showing signs of sickness that none of his family could figure out. He began acting strangely, coughing, and his body began to swell up. After his condition became chronic over the holidays, his family encouraged him to see a doctor. Tragically, it was too late, and he passed away in early 2000. The doctor ruled his death a heart attack, but this did not sit well with Mike's family, especially his sister. Stacey refused to have an autopsy done and simply believed the doctor's report. In 2003, Stacey married David Castor, whose surname she used from that point forward. David was the owner of an air conditioning installation and repair company, and she served as his office manager. In August 2005, Stacey and David got into a horrible fight. It was really bad, like the fight lasted for hours. David got so mad that he eventually locked himself in their bedroom with a bottle of alcohol because he didn't want to see anyone. David remained in the bedroom he and Stacey shared for almost 2 days. Stacey called the police to tell them that her husband had locked himself in their bedroom following an argument and had not been seen nor heard from for the past day, claiming he was depressed. The police and paramedics went there for a wellness check. They knocked, but there was no response. So they ended up breaking down the bedroom door and found David unalived. Among the items near his body, on the nightstand, were a container of antifreeze and a half-full glass of bright green liquid with a turkey baster beside it. The medical examiner believed that David had unalived himself through a self-administered lethal dose of antifreeze, but the forensics told a completely different story. The police found Stacey's fingerprints on the antifreeze glass and located a turkey baster that had David's DNA on the tip. This is what began police suspicion into the death of her husband. They began to suspect she had engineered his death. Investigators believe Stacey had used the turkey baster to force-feed David once he became too physically weak. With this discovery, Stacey was taken in for questioning. And this was the moment the story changed. She stormed out of the interrogation, claiming they were confusing her and trying to make her look guilty. Without any solid evidence, they had to let her go. Detectives surveyed the graves of Mike and David, believing if she truly loved them, she would at least visit once. But she never did. Investigators soon felt the only way to prove she was responsible for both homicides was to have Mike's body exhumed. Investigators petitioned the court to have his body exhumed. After about 2 years of waiting, detectives got permission to exhume Mike Wallace's body for an autopsy. A toxicology screen showed high levels of antifreeze poisoning. The investigators began talking to Stacey's oldest daughter, Ashley. On Ashley's first day of college, investigators went to her school to question her about Wallace's death and to inform her that he died of antifreeze poisoning. Naturally, Ashley didn't believe her mother would ever unalive David or her father and refused to speak to them. An upset Ashley called her mom. Unknown to them, the investigators had wiretapped their house phone. When Ashley told Stacey that investigators came to question her, she panicked as suspicion mounted over the deaths of her husbands. Police wiretaps recorded Stacey asking her daughter questions about her conversations with the detectives. She devised a plan to set up her daughter Ashley for the murders. Stacey then suggested they have a drink together. Her motive was to calm their nerves because of all the stress the police and detectives were giving them. Ashley happily agreed. Following their drinking, Ashley went to her room and didn't emerge the next morning. After more than 18 hours without seeing her, Ashley's younger sister, Bree, burst into the room and discovered Ashley unresponsive. Bree pleaded with their mom to call 911, and Stacey made the call. When paramedics arrived, they found Ashley unresponsive. Stacey showed them a typed suicide note she had found, where Ashley admitted to the killings. The note basically says, "I'm going to unalive myself," but it also confesses that she is the one who unalived her dad and her stepdad with antifreeze, and that she had decided to unalive herself out of guilt. At this point, Ashley isn't quite dead yet, and she's immediately transported to the hospital. Doctors worked quickly to stabilize her, and luckily she survived. After a series of tests, it was revealed that she had been poisoned with antifreeze. The situation escalated the investigation into Stacey's actions as it became clear that her daughter had been the latest victim in a disturbing pattern. As Ashley recovered, police continued their investigation. She said the last thing she remembered was her mother making her a drink, something she had never drank before. When officers asked about her suicide note, she told the officers that she did not write the note and was confused about their questions. In light of these findings, detectives decided to confront Stacey again. They presented her with the evidence they had gathered, including Ashley's poisoning and the toxicology reports from both Mike and David. Faced with mounting evidence against her, Stacey's demeanor changed. She became increasingly defensive and erratic during questioning. However, the detectives didn't buy her story. They uncovered evidence that suggested Stacey had attempted to frame her daughter for the deaths of both her husbands. Stacey had been trying to manipulate the narrative around Ashley's involvement. The computer that the note was typed on was examined, and it showed that the note was created during a time when Ashley was at school. Additionally, the wiretaps of the phone revealed the clicking sounds of a keyboard. In 2007, Stacey Castor was found guilty of second-degree murder of David Castor and the attempted murder of her daughter and forging David Castor's will. The prosecution argued that Stacey had orchestrated both deaths to gain control over their lives and financial resources, using antifreeze as a method of poisoning because it was easily accessible and could be disguised in beverages. During the trial, the prosecution presented a compelling case, detailing how Stacey attempted to shift blame onto her daughter. The defense tried to argue that there was insufficient evidence to prove intent, but the jury was not swayed.
Judge, we have one more witness. Defense calls Stacey Castor.
All right.
Tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Did you love Michael?
With all my heart, I still do.
Now, Stacey, did you kill Michael?
No, I did not. I heard Bree scream, "Mommy, there's something wrong with Sissy." I got up and went into Ashley's bedroom. I called her name. I tried to shake her, and she didn't give any response. I immediately went to get the phone to call 911.
Or what were you thinking at that point?
That was probably one of the most devastating moments in my life.
Did you kill David Castor by poisoning him with antifreeze?
No, I did not.
Did you try to murder your daughter and try to frame her for the murders of David Castor and Michael Wallace?
Absolutely no, I did not.
Tell the jury when it is that Ashley had the opportunity to poison David Castor.
She was home alone with him on Friday afternoon. There was opportunity for her to do it.
Answer my question and be specific. Did Ashley poison him?
I did not poison him.
When did Ashley poison him?
I can't answer that question.
You were typing the suicide note to frame your daughter, weren't you?
No, sir.
Objection, Judge.
I'll overrule it.
And we caught you, didn't we, Mrs. Castor?
No, you didn't.
My God, you lost 2 husbands to poisoning. Your daughter has just learned that her father was dug out of his grave. My God, is this your testimony?
Objection, Judge.
She was sentenced to 51 years in prison.
The people of the state of New York versus Stacey R. Castor. As to count number 1, murder in the second degree, what is the verdict?
However, Stacey died in prison on June 11, 2016, at the age of 48. Her death was ruled as a heart attack, with no evidence of suicide or foul play. Hey there, true crime enthusiasts! If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more true crime stories, please consider liking this video and subscribing for future updates. Your support means the world and helps us bring you even more captivating content. Thank you. See you next episode.